Hello, this video goes over the procedure of how you recover data from a SonarPoint recorder and convert it to WAV files. It's fairly straightforward. To start with, you need a utility called SPR, which stands for SonarPoint Reader, and you would get that on Desert Star's website. Let me show that here. Put this thing aside here a little bit. And you would just go to Products, Software, and you will find it in there. Once you have installed that on your machine, and you should install it in a folder named SPR directly on the C drive for greatest convenience because it's a command utility, it's time to actually retrieve the data. For that, take an SD card one at a time, not two as we had it with the older Micromart system, and plug it into a USB card reader. Now make sure you use a USB card reader, because if you use a native card reader port on your PC, that actually won't work. So a USB card reader, plug it in, and you should now get a window like this here. And because the data is recorded in a raw format, Windows won't recognize it. So be sure to not hit Format Disk, but rather you can just hit here X to dismiss it. This will be fine. The next step, you have already installed SPR on your C drive. You now need a CMD window in Windows. So you go to your search bar, you type CMD, and notice how command prompt here pops up as an app. Very important, right-click on it to run it as administrator. If you're not running it as administrator, you will not be able to access the data. Here we go. And I can say yes here. And here now we can see administrator. We are indeed in administrator mode again, just emphasizing this again. Now you go to the folder, CDC SPR, where SPR is located. So the SPR folder, and the SPR utility is in that folder. If I type SPR --, it tells me a bit about the syntax here, how this works. We'll give you a look at it here. And in this case, I will use the name of the utility, SPR, then -S0, meaning start at the first file on this card, then -C space, and however many files you want to download. The maximum that you can have on a card is 1,000 of them. Here, just to not overdo it, I'll just go for 10 files. And then -D space, the quotation mark, and now you give it both the path name, where you want your data to be, and a syntax, and the file name definition, and I'll show you how that works. So I want to put it on drive C. Now be aware, this can be very big files, and your drive C, your internal drive, probably may not have enough memory, so you'd have to use an external drive. But I'll use C here, and then I'm going to give it a name. I'm just going to call it deployment 2. That could be anything. I already have a deployment 1 on this machine from some testing here. \, and now I'm going to go into the file name. And here what you want to watch out for is that you do it in a way that the software that you might use, like Triton or PAM Guard, can readily accept it. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with the serial number, which is also a device name, and that will be the first part of my file name. And then I'm going to say underscore. Then I want the year as 4 digits. And you can see that up here, if I just do Y, it's going to give me, for example, here it said 2017. Now month, now day, here, hour, now minute is MN instead of just M because M is month, dash, or seconds here. Okay, and the quote at the end, and that should be it. Let's see if that works. Okay, here's the first file getting downloaded right now. These are right now 10-minute files collected at a 100 kilohertz sample rate. And so 10 minutes is 600 seconds, and takes about 6 minutes per file on my machine. That's a 100-to-1 ratio. It can even be faster. A computer we shipped recently shows the same 100-to-1 ratio for a file recorded at 300 kilohertz, so effectively 3 times as fast. So I'll wait until the 10 of them are done here. And you see the name, by the way. This is from recorder number 2, and then here the date and time, date and start time of this file. So we're at number 8, number 9. It should be on the 10th file here very soon. Okay, and now it should say that it's done. And there we are done. If I now go on to Windows Explorer, File Explorer here, I can see if I have that in here on my crowded computer. Oh yes, there's deployment 2. And now you see all these WAV files, and then also an Excel file for each one that has some metadata associated with it. All right, so that worked. I want to show you a slight variation on the theme here. So I don't have to just redo everything here. I can retype everything. I can just hit the up arrow key. Notice that, and I have the same command line here. The modification that I'm going to make is I'm going to put in here DN and a backslash. And what will happen now is that if I'm doing this, all these files will end up in a subfolder that is named for this particular device, like number 2. Actually, let's say I want to be more fancy about it. I'm going to say recorder number so and so, and let's see if that will work. This time, rather than doing 10 files, just to demo it, make it a bit faster, I'll just do 3 files here. Okay. There's the first file. Second one. And the third one. And it's done. And now I'll go back into my deployment 2 folder and see there's now a subfolder named recorder 2. Okay, here and here are all my files for recorder 2. So that's another convenient thing to do. So essentially that's how you recover data from SonarPoint and convert it to WAV files. I hope this was a useful little demo for you. Thank you.